Hello, everyone. This is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net, coming to you live from Valrico, Florida, Studio 76, trying to talk a little bit about the final game of the year. Sadly, this will be the last game for my beloved Buccaneers, as we don't have a snowball's chance in hell at the playoffs. We've been out of contention for the better part of the year in our rebuilding effort. We face Sunday the Atlanta Falcons, our NFC South division rival. Ever since the South has been formed in 2002, we've done a pretty good job against the Falcons. I think we're 9-6. Swept them in 02, 05, and 07. This year, however, not been our year. The Falcons come in sitting at 8-7. A chance to do something they've never done in the history of the franchise, and that's have back-to-back winning seasons. I'd love to make fun of the Falcons, but since we're sitting here with 3 victories, I can't really talk too much shit now, can I? But outgoing 37, I thought for sure we would see him on our broadcast this week, which we had tonight. No word from outgoing about what's going on. We went up to Atlanta this last time once Raheem Morris had taken over the defensive coordinator position. Defense looked pretty solid. Atlanta pulled out a victory in the last second on 7th and goal after a defensive holding penalty gave them another set of downs inside the 10. Roddy White receiving a pass from Chris Redmond, who was in after Matt Ryan went out with an injury. This time, down here in Tampa, the Buccaneers are going to face the Falcons with Matt Ryan at the helm. Doesn't look like Michael Turner will be in there. Doesn't look like Tony Gonzalez will be in there either. Reports out of Falcons camp, he heard a pop in his calf. And he's listed, I believe, as questionable for this game. That will change the dynamic significantly on the offensive side of the ball. Roddy White, obviously still a serious threat. The Bucs coverage shell is a little bit different than what we saw early in the year, though Atlanta did see this when we played in the Georgia Dome. And now they've got some tape, and that's the thing that they're sort of rallying behind, is now they've got some tape to see some tendencies, and they should be able to scheme against that. In the running back position for the Falcons, we expect to see Julius Norwood and Snelling splitting carries. Got the always dangerous Aaron Stecker, ex-Buccaneer, ex-Saint, sitting back there on the depth chart too. From the Bucs' perspective, this is Josh Freeman's last game of the year and a chance to kind of cement himself. We've got a couple of victories going in here with the Seahawks and the Saints, which no one gave us a snowball's chance in hell of winning. I think the Saints were pretty surprised, as were the Buccaneers fans, to be quite honest. But we're going to go into this game and try and continue on what seems to be a bit of an upward note. The question really becomes, and Raheem Morris asked the players this: is this what you are, or is this just you're hot, right? And that's the question: is this performance level really what these guys are? Can we go out there with nothing really on the line for the Bucs other than pride? Raheem Morris may have something on the line other than pride, like his job, with the rumors of Bill Cowher circulating around, but the team has nothing on the line. The Falcons have everything on the line conceptually. They don't have the playoffs on the line, which I know outgoing would be very upset about, and I would make fun of him for after all the chest pounding he did this year about how great the Falcons were going to be. And now we're hearing about next year. But they're playing for a chance to not be irrelevant. Dimitrov, and I know I've butchered his name, TD, and Mike Smith are struggling to find relevance in Atlanta, and that's commendable. And they find relevance via consistent winning, and that is a logical approach. It's a good formula, and I think they're going about it the right way. The question becomes, what can the Bucs do this Sunday, right? What are these guys going to do to put up tape? Guys like Michael Spurlock, who are trying to put up quality tape. Guys like Ryan Sims, who haven't put up enough quality tape, and certainly with the Bucs going into the draft with 10 draft picks, defensive tackles, an area that they're going to be looking at heavily. So Chris Hovan and Ryan Sims need to be worried about what's going on for next year. These guys are all playing for a job, folks. Last time we faced these guys, our defense did a good job. We had pressure on the quarterback all day long. Styles G. White had 2.5 sacks, a bunch of pressures. The question becomes, can we do that on our turf, on natural turf, get that knocked out? I'm hoping we can. We'll be down Jimmy Wilkerson. We're down Ernest Graham. We got a bunch of injuries just like Atlanta does. The injury report is ugly for both squads, particularly for Atlanta. But we're going to see what these young guys can do. Can Geno Hayes make it to the game on time? I believe he can. Can Antonio Bryant actually put together a solid game instead of whining constantly? He's in a contract year. He was a franchise guy last year, made $10 million for not much production this year. He's looking for a contract. I don't think he's done enough to earn one anywhere else. Will he be able to do something this Sunday? Can Josh Freeman continue to develop? Can he get off of focusing on his primary, look some guys off, and complete some passes? Can Cadillac Williams get another 100-yard game? It's going to be a tough deal to do against the Atlanta Falcons, whose rush defense is pretty solid. I think they're giving up about 111 yards per game, but they haven't given up a 100-yard rusher since Fred Taylor in Week 3. So I think they gave up 40 yards last week to Buffalo. But Cadillac's running well. The offensive line is starting to block fairly well. Look for the Buccaneers trying to establish that, ride that horse as long as they can, let Josh work off of play action, working on the drag routes, working on the outs, trying to keep him away from the middle of the field unless it's wide open. because that's where he's gotten into trouble, to be quite honest. I predict that Antonio Bryant is going to show up, which he has not done all year long. I think he'll show up well against the Falcons. I think we'll see Antonio Bryant hit the end zone. I do think we'll see Kellen Winslow hit the end zone as well. And I do think the Bucs are going to pull off another victory. I think they're going to hold the Atlanta Falcons out of the back-to-back winning seasons. I think you see Antonio Bryant with the MVP on the offensive side. Geno Hayes should have a big game, put up some more quality tape, and show some more development in Raheem Morris' implementation of this Tampa defense, formerly known as the Tampa 2, which is a bit of a misnomer. I am predicting a 27-17 victory by the Bucs. I haven't had much to be excited about all year long, but god dang it, I was pretty excited by the victory in New Orleans and by the victory in Seattle that I had kind of predicted. So thanks for you guys who listen to this show and listen to the YouTube. If you haven't been over to the show at whatthebuck.net, please do get a chance to come over there. Make sure you rate the video, and we'll be doing some videos throughout the offseason as well. Congratulations to Big Nick and all the guys out there who do the videos. It's really great getting to interact with you guys throughout the season. And who dat, I haven't heard from you and I haven't seen a video yet, and I'm pretty sure you owe me a slobber video and some sort of Buccaneer gear being represented. So hopefully you check this out. And I know you were moving, you get that thing done, because I know I stand up to my side of the bargain when it's on me. Anyway, good luck to the Bucs. We'll do it Sunday, and I'll put something up next week.